Matthews. I'll just introduce myself. You may notice that my accent is a little bit different to you guys. I'm actually from Ireland. Yeah! Thank you. I'll have sex with you later on. I pointed over there. You're only 19 and you're having sex with the MC later, aren't you? It's going to ride you like a two-bit coin. There's a terrible perception around the world about Irish people. Everybody seems to think that Irish people are a nation of drunks, alcoholics. I just want to clarify something here. We are. So are our children. And our cows and our dogs. I love coming to Edinburgh. I flew into Edinburgh tonight. I can't imagine getting here any other way, to be quite honest with you. When we got to the airport and then we were diverted. We weren't diverted on the plane, we were diverted on the bus. Because you guys have decided to dig up your cobble-block streets and put in the tram. The tram. I would love to see you guys avoid the paperclip survey people on a tram. It's going to be next to impossible, folks. And you heard it from me first. Cobbles. I love coming to Edinburgh. Somebody told me a few years ago that Edinburgh was officially the cobble capital of Europe. Oh, they didn't. I made that up. It's a pretty shit award, but it's an award in itself. I mean, I think cobbles are officially a weapon of mass destruction. Apparently, according to a survey which I read yesterday, Edinburgh has the lowest proportion per capita of male transvestites than any city in Europe. You want to know why? Because the poor fuckers can't walk in the cobbles in the high heels. I made that survey up as well. Oh gosh. We, Irish people, we have our own weapon of mass destruction, of course, but you guys haven't really realised what it actually is. We didn't just put the fucking weapon of mass destruction in the ground or bury it in Iraq like the Americans did. We sat back, we spoke to a few venture capital companies, spoke to our bank managers, and we did a business plan. We called it Ryanair. Well, I'm not going to go into that because every comedian, I like to be original, every comedian goes into the Ryanair thing. But actually, it's fantastic to be in Edinburgh. I'm actually single. Do we have any single people in the audience? Well, if we don't have any single people, we must have one hell of a lot of lesbians. And it's funny when you get to 30 and you're single. People actually look at you and they actually do think that you have a physical defect. Like a timber leg or you're blind in one eye. Yeah. Being single at 30 is like being widowed at 50. It's a fucking disaster. But I love coming to Edinburgh because Edinburgh is a great city for a single person. Because it's just a three-line conversation. Oh, I love your accent. Oh, no, I love your accent. Okay, your place or mine, that's it. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. But what I've started to do as a 30-year-old, as a single 30-year-old, is I started to ask people out for dinner. You know, when you're in your early 20s, you generally don't do that. At least Irish people don't. I mean, why would you ask someone out for dinner, for fuck's sake? Sure, why don't you get them drunk and bring them straight home? Just cut to the chase, you know? But I started asking people out for dinner, and I've also noticed something. When people get a little bit older, when they get into the 30s, girls want a nest and they want somewhere to live. And I've noticed that when people get into their late 20s or early 30s, they become obsessed with property. Okay? So the story goes as follows. I asked this girl out for dinner about 2 weeks ago, brought her out for dinner, and the first thing she said to me was, do I own a house? Right? I thought that was a very, very unusual question. So I said, oh, of course I own a house, you know. I own 11. I wasn't fucking telling her that. But right. It's going okay, isn't it? This is the first time I've ever done a gig in the UK. I'm not joking. I was out there shitting myself. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Anyway, and I said I own a house, yeah, and she said, what square foot is it? It's very unusual, isn't it? I mean, I'd ask someone what area it was in, or, you know, I mean, did you have a pool tent? I was highly offended by this, to be quite honest with you, and I looked down at her ass, and I said, the first thing that came into my head was, how many fucking square foot is in that? To be honest, I thought it was a very unusual question for a 15-year-old. We went to McDonald's. I didn't bring her to any candlelit restaurant. And then I looked at her nose and I said, geez, you could probably make a conservatory out of that. And then I asked her had she got planning permission for her ears. Then she started to cry and I started texting her mother. That's linked to the 15-year-old bit. But yeah, I won't be asking her out for dinner again. But the real reason I've actually come to Edinburgh is because I've visit family. I've got a member of my family's over here because I'm actually a twin. Do we have any twins in the audience? Is it a boy or a girl? That's the funny thing about when you have a twin, you know. The first thing that comes into somebody's head when you tell them you have a twin is it a boy or a girl. So you're probably all wondering now, is my twin Batman or Wonder Woman? That's a bit of a corny joke, but it doesn't work anymore. And the funny thing about it is, you know, the second question, even after telling people that I have a twin sister, right? The first question you get after telling that is then, do you look like her? Now, I would say if that poor girl was to look like me, she would be the most unfortunate twin in the entire world. But I answer that question the same way every single time and say, oh yeah, she's the fucking spitting image of me. She's got a big set of hairy man boobs and she's built like a shipwreck house. She supports Man U and she plays prop for the local rugby team. What a stupid bloody question. Huh? Ridiculous. But it's pretty cool actually because it's a great way to get laid. It is. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm not going to go down that route. Right? Have a bit of respect from me here, okay? But guys, if you're ever out in a bar somewhere and you're trying to score a girl and you're not Irish because you don't have the accent to go, you're amazing, right? But you should tell them you're a twin. Just tell the girls you're a twin because that is the equivalent of giving a girl a vodka. I don't know what you're laughing at. I'm dead serious. This works for me every time, right? They are fascinated by it, and the first thing a girl will always tell you when she's sitting at the bar after you brought her to McDonald's, before she texts her mother, she will always say, do you get on with your twin? And I have a very carefully scripted answer to that question, folks. I look into her eyes, I say, to be quite honest with you, I couldn't imagine my life if she wasn't in existence. She weeps. They weep every time. She leaves the bar, she goes straight to her purse, she wipes the tears, and then she goes straight up to the bar and buys me another double fucking vodka. By the time I've told that girl, I've just paid for my twin sister's backpacking trip around Europe. She's downstairs cooking breakfast, folks, and I'm upstairs. I've just got laid. Folks, that's all from me. I have no idea how long I was left. Thank you very, very, very much.